Every other tweet from Bernie Sanders is something like, we live in a world where there's massive income inequality, and we need to do something about that.
I would like a pudding cup. I love pudding, but I don't know why there are so many types of pudding. Why? There don't need to be that many flavors of pudding. The world would be just fine if there were one flavor of pudding, and the rich must pay for the pudding. Why am I here? I don't know where I am. Take me back to a rubber room from whence I came. Also, I may have pooped. Okay, he was ripping into her for being a corrupt harridan 5 seconds ago, and now she's the greatest thing I have ever seen, or at least that I can remember, and I can only remember as far back as what I ate for breakfast this morning, and it was Metamucil. If that's how much that jacket cost. I mean, she could have just stolen it off the dead body of Violet Beauregard from Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. I do not know why she is dressed like someone from the Chocolate Factory, or why there must be chocolate factories putting small chocolate manufacturers out of business, or why there is slavery for the orange Oompa Loompas. I love those things. I don't know what they do. I only hope they have fruit cups. Okay, so.
Over the past 8 years, no foreign terrorist organization has successfully executed an attack on our homeland that was directed from overseas. He then continued, saying no attack had been executed in a rainstorm, with the attacker driving a tractor with one hand, drinking a Miller High Life with the other, wearing a clown nose. To be fair, Obama didn't actually say that last part.
And he's saying, America, we know there's bias. We know there's bias across. We know it because I say it. It's tautology. You've experienced it. I've experienced it. We've all experienced it. These terrible white people. His entire presidency has been a series of horrible events, followed by him blaming everybody but himself. Oh, the American people. They just didn't understand what I was trying to say. When I said you got to keep your doctor, what I meant was you don't get to keep your doctor. If only they'd understood that. But they're stupid. They're a bunch of bitter clingers. Idiots. If Fox News hadn't been running out that propaganda, people wouldn't believe any of these terrible things they say about me.
There is good news, according to Obama. The election was not about him. He explained on a conference call with other Democrats yesterday, quote, "Let me tell you something. We got more done than any administration in the last who knows how many decades. Look, one of the challenges that I've discovered being president is I'd like to be organizer-in-chief, but it's hard. You got Syria, you got NATO, you got summit meetings, economic issues you have to deal with on an ongoing basis." This morning, Obama added there is a mismatch between frustration and anger because people seem to think I did a pretty good job. In a video he cut just weeks before the election, he said, quote, "If you want to give Michelle and me a good send-off, get people registered to vote. If you care about our legacy, realize everything we stand for is at stake."
Back in 2009, when he met with top financial CEOs and essentially ordered them to cut their own salaries, he said, quote, "Be careful how you make those statements, gentlemen. The public isn't buying that." And then he continued, "My administration is the only thing between you and the pitchforks."
Obama was caught on a live mic telling Medvedev, quote, "On all these issues, but particularly missile defense, this can be solved, but it's important for him to give me space." To which Obama said, "This is my last election. After my election, I have more flexibility." The 1980s are now calling to ask for their foreign policy back.
In 2008, then Senator Barack Obama claimed that small-town Americans in the Midwest are benighted hicks. He said it's not surprising they get bitter. They cling to guns, religion, or antipathy toward people who aren't like them, or anti-immigrant sentiment, or anti-trade sentiment as a way to explain their frustrations.
So what are they protesting other than reality? Do they think that Donald Trump is sitting there going, "Oh, they're protesting. I guess I won't be president now"?
Barack Obama sitting there, this guy who thinks that he is the God King of the United States, the man who is supposed to be the great leader who restored America to dignity and wonder. And there's Barack Obama leaning into camera looking like he wants to die. And Donald Trump sitting there like, "Give me your birth certificate right now, or Obamacare's on the table."
Here's how their exchange went. Trump said, "I am very surprised to hear that. I hate to hear that. I mean, I hate to hear that." And Leslie Stahl said, "But you do hear it?" And Trump said, "I don't hear it. I saw one or two instances, but I think it's a very, very small amount." Again, I think it's Leslie Stahl. Do you want to say anything to those people? Trump, "I wouldn't say don't do it. I would say don't do it. That's terrible because I'm going to bring this country together." Leslie Stahl, "They're harassing Latinos and Muslims." Trump, "I am so saddened to hear that. And I say stop it. If it helps, I will say this, and I will say right to the cameras, stop it."
Not going to happen, but in Trump's dream, that's what happens. He comes back up and he waves that piece of paper and he does his speech and he says, "Look at me, I've negotiated a great deal, the greatest deal you've ever seen." Right? He could do that. That'd be the best outcome for him. Second best outcome for him is he goes there, he has a conversation, and then he comes back and he says, "The issues have been made more clear to me. I've seen the evidence. I still believe what I believe, but I've talked with the people who really matter.
So these idiots take over the streets in LA, to which Trump says, I drink your salty, bitter tears. They're delicious. Next to him. Now, Mike Pence is just doing the mini-me with Trump, right? He's just running around parroting whatever Trump says. 35% tariffs? Sure, that's okay. Yes, why not? It didn't used to be for TPP, yes, but now I realize that was wrong. Then he said he was going to do what John Kerry called a pinprick strike. We're just going, it won't be heavy, it'll be tiny, it'll be like a needle.
Bill Maher. With Chris Matthews on, I'm going to say, what do you think, Bill Maher? You look like a Keebler dwarf. Come on, go for it, Bill. Chris Matthews on, I'm going to say, Joe Biden. Idiot Joe Biden, the vice president of the United States, God help us. Joe Biden said that he wanted to fight Donald Trump. So Chris Matthews, imagine if Donald Trump said he wanted to fight Joe Biden. Right? Imagine he'd initiated that. He actually did say it, but it was in response. Imagine that he said, I want to fight Joe Biden. I want to fight Barack Obama. End of the world, right? Violent rhetoric from the Republican nominee. Joe Biden says exactly that. So what does the media do? Chris Matthews, whatever I see, has them on. Say, here's boxing gloves. It'll be great. They're pugnacious, Joe. Pugnacious. I'm going to say, Chris Matthews, go. Okay, so I love that he says it's unacceptable behavior. Also, I want to beat Donald Trump up behind a gym. He's really dumbed down politics. And Chris Matthews says, it's great. Joe Biden, I love you. It's great to get Amtrak over here. You come in with these boxing gloves. I'm not even give you. These are old boxing gloves. Somebody else wore them. They're not even new. I can't even afford new boxing gloves. I'll give you the old ones. I got them from the gym. I stole them from the locker. They smell like jockstrap. Ah!
And Medvedev said, yes, I understand. I understand your message about space. Space for you. And Medvedev answered genially, I understand. I will transmit to Vladimir.
Ben Carson, well, America is kind of like a ship, and it's a ship it's like a poop ship, like one of those places where the septic system broke and the poop is flowing out of the various toilets, and it's turned over. It's almost over, but the captain of the ship has bailed out on the ship, and it's turning over completely. And I think that all we can do right now is just say that America is beautiful.
You'd have Rubio and Cruz go at each other, and then there's Christie doing the, well, I'm Josh Shucks, I'm just a governor. I don't understand what you're saying. You know, what are you talking about?
Southern.
Yeah, because it's a dumb thing to do. I mean, he sounds like he acts like a hick when he does that, Christie. Like, you're a governor of a major state. Acting like you don't know how the political game is played, or like you don't know what the Senate does. I just don't know what these people are arguing about over here.
They're just in meetings all
right, exactly. Here I am, I do real things like hug Obama. There's a really telling point in the 2012 election cycle when Bill Clinton was talking about Obama, and he said, the difference between Obama and Mitt Romney is that Romney.
That's great. This guy, by the way, is considered a leading Trump ally, Alex Jones. I don't know why. I can't understand it. Look at this. Look what's underneath here. It's another shirt. Why? Why?
Obama jumps on that, and he says, sure, Vlad, you lead the way. You lead the way, Vlad. And Vladimir Putin says, excellent.